They say time mends wounds. That's a lie. Time doesn't fix anything. It just teaches you to bury the pain deeper. You grow quieter, sharper, more lethal. You walk through fire so often it starts to feel like home. Then one day, you realize no one's coming to save you. No one's reaching out to pull you from the flames. That's the first brutal lesson. You either crawl forward or you burn. There's no middle ground. You die in the inferno, or you become it. I stopped searching for a hand to hold long ago. Instead, I forged claws, razor sharp, built to tear through false promises and hollow words. I've been betrayed more times than I can track, smiled at by people hiding daggers behind their backs, watched those I'd have bled for walk away like I was nothing, and yet I stood there, still breathing, still bleeding, still watching their shadows fade while the silence roared louder than their lies ever could. People think strength is loud and muscular. Wrong. Strength is carrying your own coffin every day and daring the world to bury you. It's staying silent when your name is slandered, when your heart shatters, when your soul hits the dirt and your mind begs to give up. You don't break. You grit your teeth and keep moving, like the devil owes you a debt. That's power. I learned it the hard way. Nobody respects a good man until he turns cold. Nobody values loyalty until it's gone. They only see your worth when they lose access to you. That's the curse of being solid. You carry everyone until you realize no one's carrying you. You become your own savior, your own fortress, your own war. I'm not bitter. I'm real. There's a difference. Bitterness stems from weakness. Realness comes from survival. When you've tasted betrayal from those you shielded, when you've been shattered after giving your all, that's not bitterness. It's an awakening. That's when you stop crying for others and start building for yourself. Silence became my response. Pain became my teacher. Solitude became my strength. They think I'm lonely. No, I'm focused. I cut out distractions disguised as love, severed ties with those who only showed up when it suited them. I became allergic to inconsistency. Now, if you shake my hand and your soul's fake, I feel it. Energy doesn't lie. Smiles do. You think it's weakness to feel deeply, to love fiercely. That's the warrior's curse. We fight hardest for those who throw us into battles. We bleed most for those who wouldn't bandage our wounds. But that's done now. My empathy has boundaries. My kindness has terms. My peace has a price. You don't sit at my table unless you've got scars of your own. If you've never been broken, we can't talk. You don't speak my language. I used to wait for apologies, for closure, for people to see what they lost. Now, I move in silence. If you lose me, you lose loyalty. You lose realness. You lose a heart that would have gone to war for you, something you won't find again. That's your karma, not my burden. In the silence, I transformed. I didn't get angry or emotional. I got dangerous. I found peace in the fire, clarity in the chaos. I don't seek revenge anymore. I let karma work with patience. I don't need to shout. My presence speaks. My absence teaches. Here's what I learned. The strongest are always alone, not because they choose it, but because they see too much, feel too deeply, give too much, and expect too little. They're the ones wiping their tears in the dark, then stepping into the light with a smile. They're the ones who could save the world, but drown in silence, and no one notices until they're gone. I'm not here to be liked. I'm here to be remembered, not for noise, but for the storm I carried quietly, the strength I forged in isolation, the chaos I survived without witnesses. That's my legacy. That's my revenge. That's my truth. I don't need applause for it. They'll never grasp what it costs to keep standing when your world has crumbled. They see the strength, the silence, the control, but not the war that built it. They don't see the nights I stared at the ceiling, questioning why I survived storms meant to destroy me. They don't hear the screams in my head when I realized those I'd die for didn't care if I drowned. That kind of pain doesn't weaken you. It transforms you into something else, something sharp, something unrecognizable. You stop begging to be understood. You stop bleeding for those who never learned to heal you. You stop showing up for people who don't notice your absence. That's when the shift happens. That's when you go from a man who gave love to a man who gives lessons, not out of cruelty, but clarity. There's power in solitude. You start hearing your own voice, not the world's. You realize what you chased was never real. The love you fought for was just manipulation, dressed up as affection. The friend you'd have killed for, just a shadow that vanished when your light dimmed. I watched every fake soul fade away when I went quiet. I didn't chase. I didn't beg. I didn't ask why. Truth is, I was never hard to love. They were just too weak to handle depth. They wanted shallow. They wanted easy. I gave them loyalty, my soul. They gave me absence. Good. Now they watch from afar, seeing the version of me they created. The one who stopped explaining, stopped forgiving, stopped showing up. Let me tell you about being alone. It's where legends are forged. Anyone can smile in a crowd or act tough with backup, but face your demons, your regrets, the silence that reminds you how many times you were abandoned. If you rise from that, you're not human anymore, you're a storm. Storms don't explain themselves. They arrive, they disrupt, they leave everything changed. That's who I became. Not by choice, but because the world devours softness. So I burned that softness and forged new armor. Now I don't talk much. I move, I act, I let silence speak, and trust me, it roars louder than love ever did. They say I've changed. Damn right I have. I evolved. I shed skin after skin, pain after pain, rebuilding myself from ashes so many times I started to crave the scent of smoke. I don't trust easily anymore. I don't give access to those who haven't bled for me. My circle's nearly a dot now, and I prefer it that way. No snakes, no liars, no energy vampires, just me, focused, hungry, dangerous. I don't chase status or validation. I don't want conditional love. Give me loyalty or step aside. Give me real or stay silent. If you doubted me, good. Doubt fueled this. Disrespect built this. Every door slammed in my face gave me bricks to build my own castle. Don't mistake my silence for weakness. Don't think my calm means I forgot. I remember everything. Every insult masked as a joke. Every broken promise. Every time I was left on red. I just don't react the same anymore. I let time expose what words never could. I let karma finish conversations I walked away from. That's real power. Walking away when you could destroy. Choosing peace when you've earned vengeance. It takes a true warrior to carry rage without unleashing it. I could have burned it all down. Instead, I built in silence, in pain, with discipline that turned wounds into weapons. I don't need crowds, cheers, or followers. I walk alone because I was born to, wired for solitude, forged in storms. While they laugh, gossip, or try to figure me out, I'm moving. While they sleep, I'm building. While they're distracted, I'm evolving. Let them talk. Let them doubt. Let them think they're ahead. Time will reveal the truth, and when it does, don't call me. Don't come back. Don't act like you always believed in me. I'm not bitter. I'm just not foolish anymore. I gave too much, loved too hard, forgave too fast. That version of me is gone, burned in the fire. What you see now is what emerged, stronger, colder, smarter, alone, but never broken. That's what sets me apart. That's what makes me dangerous. That's why they whisper when I enter a room, because they know I was forged in a place they wouldn't survive for a day. They think being alone means I'm broken. It means I'm free. Free from fake love, from expectations I didn't sign up for, from carrying people too weak to walk alone. I stopped showing up where I'm not respected. I stopped explaining myself to the ungrateful. Most of all, I stopped breaking myself to make others feel whole. You know how it feels to crumble just so someone else can stand taller beside you? That pain doesn't scream. It whispers, gnawing at you until you snap. Not loudly, not violently, just gone, silent, cold, untouchable. That's where I live now, in that silence, that distance where nothing reaches me unless I allow it, and I don't allow much anymore. Every betrayal was a lesson, every heartbreak a chapter, every departure made me stronger, not bitter, stronger. I upgraded, cutting dead weight, refusing second chances to those who didn't deserve the first. I saw how people acted when I had nothing, when I was struggling behind a smile. Most love you until it's inconvenient, until your pain disrupts their comfort. Then they vanish and their masks fall. That's when you see them, seasonal, not solid. So I stopped begging them to stay. I held the door wider and let them leave faster. I'm done with the draining, the confused, the selfish. I don't answer every call, reply to every message, or entertain those who think I'm replaceable. I'm rare, not ego, just math. People like me are scarce, loyal despite betrayal, soft-hearted despite heartbreak, real in a world of facades. That's why I made myself scarce, expensive, the kind of man you don't just get, you earn, with loyalty, consistency, energy that doesn't waver. Loyalty's the last real currency, and it's bankrupt everywhere. People ride with you when you're winning but disappear when you fall. That's not loyalty, that's convenience. Real ones bleed with you, stand firm when the world turns its back. How many have I met? Few? Maybe none. That's why I don't crave company. I'd rather walk alone in truth than dance with disguised snakes. I became addicted to silence because it showed me who I am. It stripped away the lies, the noise, the pretenders. What remained? A man of fire and grit who doesn't fold, beg, or chase. A man who stares at pain and doesn't flinch. That's not numbness, it's mastery. When you've bled enough, you become bulletproof. You stop fearing heartbreak because you've survived worse. You stop fearing loss because you've lost the world and kept breathing. That's where I live, beyond fear, beyond emotion. I don't react, I calculate. I don't trust blindly, I observe. I let people reveal themselves with time, and I believe them the first time. The strongest are always alone, not because they want to be, but because the world's too soft for their truth. We don't fit in, we stand out, not for fame, but for the fire in our eyes, the demons we dance with, the pain we've carried. You ever seen a man with nothing left to lose? That's me, that's freedom, that's danger. I'm not afraid to start over, to lose people, to cut ties that choke me. I'm not afraid to be misunderstood. Let them talk, twist the story. I know the truth, and that's enough. I don't play games, entertain chaos, or explain myself to the blind. My energy is sacred now. My time is gold. If you enter my space, come correct, because I'm not who I was. That man's gone, buried, under betrayal, pain and silence. What's left is colder, wiser, unyielding. 'Cause I burned once and walked out smiling. They ask why I'm so distant, like they don't recall the moment they taught me to stop reaching out, like they forgot leaving me hanging when I needed them most. I'm distant because I learned people don't value presence, they value absence. When you're always there, always giving, they take you for granted. But go quiet, disappear, stop giving. That's when they notice. That's when fake apologies surface. Not because they care, but because they hate losing access to someone who made them feel significant. They don't miss you. They miss how you treated them. I'm done giving that energy. I don't love like I used to, not because my heart's gone, but because it's guarded, armored by pain. I used to think loving harder would keep people close. I was wrong. Love doesn't stop betrayal. Kindness doesn't stop disrespect. Loyalty doesn't stop abandonment. It just makes you a target for those who can't reciprocate. Once that clicks, you change. You stop offering love as a lifeline and start using silence as a boundary. You stop healing others and start protecting yourself. That's where I am. If they call it cold, so be it. The warmth they took for granted is extinct. People talk about healing like it's soft music and journal pages. They're wrong. Healing is brutal, lonely, crying at 3 a.m. with no one to dry your tears. It's waking with a heart heavy enough to sink oceans and still showing up, grinding, breathing. Healing is a silent war, each step forward like dragging yourself through glass, but you keep going, not because it's easy, but because there's no other choice. You fight or you stay broken. I didn't come this far to stay broken. I don't want half love, part-time loyalty, or temporary commitment. If you can't match my energy, stay away. I've carried too many relationships alone, been the only one trying, showing up. That version of me is dead, buried. I've got a new blueprint now. If your presence brings chaos or emotional debt, you're gone. No warnings, no second chances, just gone. I refuse to be drained by those who don't see me bleeding. I built myself in silence, brick by brick, while everyone thought I was crumbling. I turned every insult, every betrayal, every backstab into fuel. They don't know the rage it takes to rebuild while pretending you're fine. The nights you scream in your mind to face another day. The moments you stare at your reflection, wondering how you're still standing. Here's the truth. I stand because quitting isn't in my blood. Folding isn't my nature. You don't survive this pain without something primal, something that refuses to die, something that fights when there's nothing left. I'm alone, but I'm solid. I don't second-guess myself. I don't seek approval or belonging. I am the storm I needed, the protector I never had, the loyalty I once begged for. I'm not waiting to be saved. I'm the savior now of my sanity, my peace. That scares them. They used to control me with guilt, emotions, silence. Now I wield the silence. I've turned it into armor. When I go quiet, it's not weakness, it's calculation, deciding who's worth a word and who's not worth a glance. I'm done explaining, defending, or excusing those who failed me. Come correct or don't come at all. I'm not hard to love. I was just too easy to use. Now I'm the man they warned you about, loving with boundaries, giving with caution, trusting like a sniper, slow, calculated, one shot. Break it and it's done. No repairs, just silence. That's where the real ones live, in that sacred, solitary space where the strongest reside. Not because they want to be alone, but because it's the only place that doesn't lie, use, or break them. I'd rather stay there forever than go back. They say I'm too intense. I'm just real. My intensity is the absence of games, lies, small talk, fake smiles. It's the raw truth I carry like a blade. Most can't handle that. They're used to surface-level chatter, empty promises, half-hearted bonds. So, when someone like me arrives, someone who sees through masks, who doesn't just listen, but hears, it scares them. You can't fake it around a man who's walked through fire. You can't sell illusions to someone who's lived nightmares. That's why they leave. That's why they flinch. I became a mirror, and they hated their reflection. Loneliness isn't sitting alone. It's sitting in a crowd and realizing no one truly sees you. No one gets the war behind your eyes. That's when you pull back, go distant, maybe cold, but not cruel. You're just tired of pretending, hoping, giving maps to your heart only to watch people get lost on purpose. So you stop giving directions, you build walls, armor up. They call you heartless because you stopped letting them hurt you. But I'm not heartless. I've just learned the difference between love and dependency, support and manipulation, loyalty and obligation. I've seen what it looks like when people only show up to take, when their love is conditional, temporary. You learn to read between the lines when your peace becomes their playground. Now, I protect my energy like it's my lifeline, because it is. I don't let just anyone close. You have to earn proximity, and most won't because they only know how to take, not stay. I used to wonder what was wrong with me, why people lied, used, left. Now I know it wasn't me. It was that I saw them too clearly, saw the cowardice behind their confidence, the emptiness behind their charm, the weakness behind their anger. People hate being seen. So they leave, and I let them. I'm not chasing ghosts anymore. If you can walk away, you were never meant to stay. I'm not for everyone, and I stopped trying to be. They want convenience wrapped in loyalty, access without effort, someone to fix them without facing themselves. That's not me. I'm not your therapist, rebound, or punching bag. I'm the man who rebuilt himself with no help, turned pain into power, silence into strength. Solitude didn't break me, it revealed me. It stripped away every layer I hid behind, every excuse, every distraction, leaving only my voice. In that silence, I met myself, not the version others wanted, not the mask I wore to survive, but the real me. The one who doesn't beg, fold, or wait to be chosen because he chose himself. There's no going back. I'm not hard to love. I'm just not easy to use. I bring depth to a world obsessed with surface, intensity to a world scared of emotion, loyalty to a world that trades it like coins. If that's too much, so be it. I'd rather be too much than be like them, hollow, aimless, forgettable. They'll remember me, not today, maybe not tomorrow, but one day, when their noise leaves them empty, they'll recall the silence I brought that made them feel whole. They'll remember the man who'd have gone to war for them if they hadn't betrayed him in peace. By then, I'll be too far gone, too healed, too high to hear their apologies. The door they slammed is now a wall, thick, cold, permanent. The strongest are always alone, and I'm at peace with that. They come back, not because they miss you, but because they miss how you made them feel. Important, held, seen. But when you needed them, when you were breaking, they vanished. Silence, excuses, absence. You sat staring at your reflection, wondering how they switched so easily, how those you prayed for hoped you'd fall. That's the world's sickness. They romanticize loyalty, but don't live it. They preach love, but only when it's easy. The moment you're difficult, when you need something real, they're gone. So, yeah, I got colder. I don't deny it. That softness, that openness, it's gone, and I don't apologize. The world didn't apologize when it broke me. It didn't send flowers when I buried parts of myself to meet expectations I never chose. It didn't cry when I cried. So I stopped crying for it. I stopped hoping, lowering my standards to fit places that couldn't hold my worth. Now, I build my own table, sit with my own silence. If I let you in, it's not by chance. It's because I saw something rare in you. But most times I don't, because I trust patterns, not promises. I trust actions, not words. I trust pain. It never lies. When you're alone long enough, you see differently. You stop chasing closure, needing validation, arguing with those committed to misunderstanding you. You detach quietly, ruthlessly, not because you don't care, but because peace outweighs being right, proving your worth, explaining yourself to those who've already judged you. Your silence becomes your shield, your sword, your language. You don't scream, you whisper with distance, speak volumes without a word. That's power, untouchable. I've tasted every shade of betrayal, looked into eyes I thought were home, only to see mirrors reflecting my desperation. I've held hands with those waiting for something better, loved those who treated my heart like an option. Don't ask why I'm harsh now, why my boundaries are brutal, my standards cold. When you've burned enough, you stop lighting matches for those who won't shield you from the wind. I've seen how temporary people are. One minute they call you family, the next they're slandering you like you never existed. They swear they'll stay, then ghost you like loyalty's a trend. I'm done being surprised. People change when their masks slip. I'm done collecting masks. I want real, unfiltered, unapologetic. If you can't bring that, stay away. I stopped asking for loyalty from those who lie to themselves, love from those who only take, support from those who vanish in storms. I rely on the one who never left, me. I carried myself through nights that should have ended me, healed with no guide, rose from ashes no one saw. Now they wonder why I walk like I've got nothing to lose, because I already lost it all and survived. That survival builds a different breed, a different fire. You don't beg, explain, or flinch. You move differently, think differently, cut people off mid-sentence the moment their energy shifts. No warnings, just disappearances. They'll feel it. Not today, maybe not tomorrow, but the silence you leave will echo louder than any goodbye. Let them call you heartless, paint you as the villain. They'll never admit their selfishness, their absence, their betrayal built you. But they know. Every time they see you silent, succeeding without them, realizing the door they slammed is a wall they can't climb. The strongest are alone, walking with heads down, hearts guarded, minds sharp. Energy sacred, eyes that don't flinch. You'll find us in the dark, thriving. Strength isn't a choice, it's a sentence. It's not a glamorous badge. It's waking daily with a tired soul, a heavy heart, and still moving like nothing's wrong. It's not having the luxury to break because no one's picking up your pieces. It's carrying weight that wasn't yours. Rebuilding silently because no one noticed you falling apart. Strength is suffering in silence, bleeding behind a smile, becoming your own hero daily because no one showed up. After a while, you stop expecting them to. You stop checking your phone for check-ins, hoping someone sees through your "I'm fine." You stop waiting because you realize some don't love you. They love how you love them. They don't care about your scars, only that you're standing. When you collapse, they vanish, telling themselves, "He's strong. He'll be fine." That's the curse of strength. You're so good at surviving, they forget you're human. But I remember every tear I wiped, every fall with no hand to lift me, every fake "I'm here for you" that turned to silence when I needed proof, every hand I held that let go when the fire raged. That's why I'm different. I don't ask, explain, or beg. I observe, measure, test, fail me, and you're gone. No second chances with my energy. It's gold, purified through pain, war, betrayal. I don't give it to just anyone. There's peace in letting go, accepting not everyone deserves your light. You breathe differently, walk with a weightless rage, not loud, but cold, sharpening your focus, numbing distractions. That's where I am, ruthless, grounded, unavailable to those who don't match my fire. People want the old me, soft, forgiving, open, easy to manipulate, drain, abandon. That man's dead. I held funerals in silence for every piece I killed. Innocence, trust, hope. Now I walk with my ghosts, reminding me who I can't be again. The strongest are alone, not because they lack love, but because they value it too much to give it recklessly. They've seen what happens when you hand your heart to those who twist it, take from it, leave it empty, then wonder why you went cold. My silence is my language, my withdrawal, my response, my distance, my protection. When I go silent, it's too late. I don't come back. I don't explain. I vanish, and they'll feel the loss of something they'll never find again.